Hey everyone, it's adorable Daniela with a Halo 5 video for you, specifically on how you can absolutely dominate in the Warzone mode, which is arguably the best mode that Halo has put out so far. When you start out, you're going to be in a gunship, and the first thing you're going to want to do is try to keep yourself alive. I die in the video, so it's okay if you do, but try your best not to, and just fight the different AI people that will show up. It's probably going to be either the Covenant or Prometheans, because I haven't seen anything else so far. If it's the Covenant, then it's the Elite, and in the case of mine, it's Prometheans, so it's soldiers. They're a little difficult, so make sure that if you have to, you get behind cover, as I absolutely failed to do in the video. On the next part, you'll see that I immediately, upon getting the screen for dying, I go and change my Rex and put on my recon version of the assault rifle. And now I'm sort of just gonna stealthily hang out and wait for this Covenant guy to show up, and then I'm gonna be the one to essentially stab him in the back. And this is kind of what you have to do for all of the bosses in order to get a lot of the kills, because it seems like as it stands right now, and I think this is definitely an issue, only those who actually land a killing blow will get any points at all. So even if you did almost all the damage, you still won't get anything unless you're actually firing at the end. If you've played Destiny at all, you're going to know that at the very end of the raid with Oryx, you have to make sure that you have a full clip, or at least that you have reloaded. It kind of works in a similar way, so make sure that when the boss is at its almost lowest health, so literally slivers, you immediately reload your weapon, and you then have enough to kill it. Slightly before slivers though, because someone could blow it up with a rocket launcher as well. So in the video, I immediately, from fighting that boss, I fight some enemies and then I head to the next base, which I capture. And this also will give me some more points. Now, for actually fighting the guys while you're defending it, I suggest that you use whatever cover is around. And the other little piece of advice I give you is to pick up whatever Promethean weapon you can from the first fight, or if it's the elites, take the sword or whatever from them and use that. The reason for this is I actually think that, at least in the case of the Prometheans, their weapons are a lot better than your starting ones. The bolt pistol is amazing. The suppressor is really, really good, especially if you have just a slight bit of cover to protect you. And then you just kind of want to pick off guys, from a ways away, about as much as you can, and just hold cover and watch yourself. The other thing you can do is make sure that once you have captured a base, you go up to the rec station, because, slight little tip here, you will be able to get all your ammunition back that you've been using. Every time you go to one, it refills your ammo. So that's a really good tip. So from here, as you can see, I'm just picking off these guys and heading to the next base and taking out the Marines. Now, be careful of the Marines because they don't look like they can do much, but they can definitely kill you. I've been killed by Marines many times. So just make sure that you watch out for the grenades that they throw, and you should be okay. All you're basically doing is taking out these bases and essentially defending each one up until the point that a boss will show up. And then all your focus needs to immediately switch to taking out the boss. The bosses are what give you the most points. It sure seems like you don't get nearly as much from the base just defending or even capturing bases. Hopefully this will be changed, but as it stands, that's how it is. So this is another issue for me because it feels like it makes the fights a little stale, because you're pretty much doing the same thing every single round. You essentially take out all the bases and then just focus on all the bosses. As you can see here, I'm going to take out his air defense thing first because it can heal him and it can heal the other units around here as well. And then this soldier is going to be a pain, so I want to take him out if I can. I don't remember. Nope, I don't. So I died, but I'm going to immediately run and full force, absolute focus on just that boss, Because like I said, that's pretty much how you get the points. You have to focus these bosses. There's really nothing else you can do. Killing Spartans only gives you about 10 points. Defending, I'm not sure, it gives you very little points though. So the best thing you can really do is just take the bases and immediately focus on each boss as they show up. So that's what you do. The hard part comes in these the little AI enemies that come around the bosses as well. They can be kind of a pain. They do a lot more damage than the campaign, so don't get tricked into thinking that, oh, I fought these guys through the whole campaign, they're super easy. No, they're not. They will definitely kill you if you don't fight them the same way you would fight any other Spartan, which is to hide behind cover, pick up what other weapons are available that are better than what you're currently using, etc. The other thing is, with your Rex, you want to immediately switch them to your best items when you can. So don't be like afraid to use whatever you can during the match, specifically your permanents. So like I have the battle rifle unlocked, so I immediately switched to the battle rifle, and as you can see, I saw that a boss had spawned or was about to, so I went and picked up a vehicle. This is my other tip. Make sure you're using vehicles like crazy. Warzone is a giant mode, it's like big team battle, and vehicles are king, basically. So make sure you pick up a ghost, or if you have partners or anybody with you, you can have them or yourself get in one of the other vehicles, like the Mongoose or Warthog. Sorry, for some reason couldn't think of it. And here you'll see that I'm just taking out these different soldiers and watching this boss that's up in the air. He dies very quickly, so make sure that you really focus. If you die, if you have the points, get a vehicle. It's better to get out there and start doing damage than lose the kill. So as you see there, I get a legendary takedown, brings my points way up. And you're going to see that pretty much throughout this whole thing, because like I said, all I do is focus bosses. I watch the bases and make sure our bases are staying and they're not getting captured, but for the most part, I go after any bosses, any patrol captains that show up, whatever. Which I guess those are bosses too, so. And I try to stay away as much as I can after capturing the bases from the enemy. Now, you gotta remember that you're in a rock, paper, scissors type fight with the other team, who are also trying to take out the exact same bosses as you. So it really is a battle of attrition, and it's a battle of speed and skill, which is one of the reasons I really like the mode. However, like I said, if you only get all the damage on the boss, but you don't get the finishing kill, unfortunately you get robbed of a victory. So anytime a boss is about to spawn, or I anticipate that a boss will spawn, I switch to a vehicle. This is kind of my best advice on this. The other thing is that if there aren't that many Spartans, you can usually take them out, and you'll still be able to hold on to the vehicle and use it on whatever next boss shows up. So again, as I stated before, and I'm not going to understate, I'll probably state it like 3 more times, vehicles are king in this mode. You want to use them as much as you can. Ghosts are very cheap. You can get the cards all the time. Ghosts are also very useful. And so I switch them as much as I can. They'll get you somewhere very quickly. I do think that in this one I at some point get a tank, and that definitely helps. So if you have a high power vehicle like a tank, I would use it at some point, maybe halfway between the fight or somewhere closer to the end whenever whenever it's available, to take out some of the bosses as well. It's really useful. The tank can take out a boss with maybe like 6 hits, maybe 10, I'm not sure, but it's very useful against bosses. Really, all the vehicles are. And like I said, this is a vehicle on boss and you versus bosses type fight. Don't really focus on Spartans. If you see them and they don't see you, probably run away. You're probably better off, because the more you're dying, the more you're spending in respawns, and you have way less time to get to the objectives. So if you get a sword, as I stated, stay away from Spartans. use that sword on the bosses, you know, try and get up behind a hunter or something and stab that sword into their back. That does a lot of damage and is way more useful than trying to focus on Spartans unless you absolutely have to. I know it sounds really weird to be saying, you know, don't really fight the Spartans as much, but again, as I've stated before, if you're dying and you're not in the game, when the bosses are about to die, you're not going to get the points. You won't be able to get if they have a quarter of health and you're on the other side of the map and you have to run to them, you're not going to make it. Like, it's just not going to happen. So make sure that you're focusing on the bosses, the bases, but not really on the Spartans and the different AI that show up. In this case, I'm taking out one of the patrol leaders, and I kind of should have just gotten out and jacked his vehicle and knocked him off or whatever, but I don't. I just keep fighting him with the ghost, and as you saw, there was a little mongoose around the corner. One of the enemies, Spartans, had one, and I was just like, I'm not gonna mess with you, so I just ran around the corner and hid for a second. I'd rather take this boss kill than have them get lucky and kill me. Maybe they'll jump off their mongoose and hack my vehicle or whatever. And then this Spartan shows up and almost kills me, or sorry, does kill me. He steals my vehicle, and I thought for sure I could take him out with my battle rifle, but he gets me. So as you can see, we're about halfway through the match, and it's at this point that I usually will switch my auto rifle to my SMG. And as you can see, the enemy core, we're actually doing pretty well as a team. The enemy core is down to like half of its health as well. So it's not just me. I mean, your team does pretty well as well in this. And if they are doing well, that really does have something to do with how you do. But you personally on your own team, even if you don't win, you can be first. You can get a podium finish at least. And that's better than, you know, being at the bottom of the list, not really understanding why you're not winning when you're killing lots of Spartans and you feel like you're doing a lot. Again, this mode totally comes down to the bosses. It's all about killing them. It's all about landing the final blows. So just like when you see a Spartan and you do not shoot that Spartan, you just sneak up on them from behind and use your assassination move in this game. That's exactly what you want to do with these bosses, except that they're bullet sponges to a degree, so you have to lower their health as well. But you get my point, I think. You have to get up behind them. You have to be the one to get the last kill, you know, to get the last damage on them, to get the kill. So just focus them the same way that you would any other Spartan that you're going after, that you want to get a sneaky kill on. And this is kind of maybe a moral issue, but as it stands, I do steal kills from my teammates. If I see a boss and they're up, I want the points, I immediately head to them. I don't wait for my teammates to show up. I don't wait for the other team to show up to give me a fight. I just immediately take out the boss and move on to the next. That's really what you're doing throughout this entire mode. As you can see, I have a tank now, so it's really, really useful. Super, super powerful. I get a lot of kills with it. It doesn't help me get to the core at the very end of this, but it does do pretty well for everything else, for taking out bosses and everything else that you have to do. The other pieces of advice I give you are, again, to just use your Rex. They're there for a reason. You're gonna get a ton of the SMGs. You're gonna get a ton of battle rifles and all that kind of stuff. And so immediately, as soon as you have the ability to switch to those weapons, I mean, as long as you prefer them. If you're good with an auto rifle, go ahead and keep your auto rifle throughout this whole thing. But I'm not so great with it, admittedly. So I use the SMGs, I use the battle rifles, you know, I use vehicles a lot. And so here I'm just like bringing my tank into their base and I'm like, I'm gonna take out your core, I'm gonna do it all myself. But I don't. But you're gonna notice very, very soon here, because we're almost to the end, that at the very end, I kind of focus on getting myself to the final boss that's going to be showing up. It's going to be a Knight Stratego or something like that, I think. And while my other team is focused on the energy core and stuff for the the team, I'm over there trying to fight that boss, trying to finish it off, trying to get some more points. Here, I get really, really lucky, but as you can see, I'm fighting it with a ghost. I'm gonna come back with another ghost in a moment, I think, if I remember right. And kill him with the ghost, maybe? I think that's what happens. If it's not, then it's a different match I played. Admittedly, as I confessed on this, this is definitely one of my best matches. So, I don't always do this well. I do pretty well, though. So, like I said, you pretty much focus bosses. That's the best advice I could give anybody for this mode. And you don't really worry about your teammates, you know, stealing their kills. You don't really worry about other Spartans, you know? I know it seems kind of like I said, a moral issue, but it's what I do. That's how you dominate this mode. Dominate is when you get twice the amount of points as everybody on every team, you know? Like, at the very end, you have, in this case, I had 1,850 points. The person underneath me had like 910. The person at the highest point, or the highest player on the other team, had like 930 or something like that. So I almost had double the amount of points as everybody in the entire game. So, like I said, that's what this video is about. It's about dominating. It's not about playing nice, necessarily. It's not about, you know, being, necessarily a team player. It's about dominating Warzone in Halo 5. That's what you guys probably want to know. I know that for the first time that I started playing Warzone, first like 5 games, I was at the bottom of the list and it was bugging me, you know? I'm like, I'm playing so well. How come I have no points? How are they getting so many points? I called my boyfriend. I was like, I don't understand. How are they getting more points? And, you know, he didn't understand it either. And then it took me a little while and I sort of tried to figure it out and I did. This is how you dominate this game mode. You focus on bosses. You focus on the bases at the very beginning. And you focus on trying not to die as much as possible and trying to stay away from the enemy as much as possible. Like, I don't remember how many Spartan kills I got. Somebody can screen cap it if they want or whatever. I think it's maybe like 10 or 12 or something. I didn't really focus on Spartans. I focused on bosses, and that's why I got 6 of them. And I got 2,330 rec points. I leveled up, like, you know, a bunch and stuff. So this is exactly how you dominate in Halo 5. If this isn't what you wanted to know and you're looking for more of a team player type strategy, I may put that up, but as it stands, this is not that video. So you can go ahead and dislike the video if you want. Otherwise, please like the video. I really appreciate all the likes. They mean way more than you could possibly know in my life. The comments, I read as many comments as I possibly can. I try to read them all. I try to get back to them as quickly as possible. I love you all. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. The last part of this video is just showing my score and such like that. But thanks so much for watching the video. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you want more Halo, Destiny, and other gaming content. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, if you're a Destiny player, I have another video for you specifically dealing with the Festival of the Lost and how you can get all the new Halloween masks as quickly as possible. Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my videos and you want to see more gaming content. Also, please like the video and also don't forget to comment as I read all of them and I really appreciate it. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.